Let's talk about my first vending experience, shall we? Long story short, my friend Patricia, she's freaking awesome. Because of her, I really had the notion to start my business. We are co-workers, or we're co-workers, and she gave me a chance to help me basically start my business with Blind Dates with the Book. And I've been selling Blind Dates with the Book through her little creative vendor reuse shop. And it's been so great because every time we've restocked, I've sold out. And it's been a collaborative basically decision because she does supply some of the supplies that I put in my Blind Dates with the Book, and obviously I have the bundling abilities of putting it all together and just making it more fun. From my personal library, I take the books and I bundle them. Like, I literally make Blind Dates with the Book based off my personal books. Obviously, it's not a strategic business idea. I was literally just trying to get rid of some books. And because of her, I've been able to make some change and start my business. So shout out to Patricia. But basically, I've been invited to her next market, which is literally tomorrow, and I'm gonna show you guys how I make Blind Dates with a Book, and I'm also gonna take you guys along for the journey for my first vending experience. This is still gonna be a collaborative with her, so it's not only CozyPao Co, but it is under her umbrella, and I'm so grateful because this is just the type of learning experience I need before I need to start vending. So obviously after the whole experience, I'm gonna try to break it down and see if, like, what are the pros, what are the cons, and if I learned anything. I hope this inspires you guys to try out something new, because this is obviously so out of left field for me, but we'll see. Okay, let's go. All right, long story short, I am on my way to my first market, and it's a little chaotic because I'm a little late already, but it's gonna be okay. I'm so excited. I'm nervous and scared because I've never actually like sold anything in person like this. I mean, I have in college for like a group project, but it was like a student project, so I feel like it wasn't really like super open to the public. It was just amongst students. So this is like my first time actually like selling something that I've made. And I'm just gonna, you know, talk about my experience. Oh my gosh, I'm like so nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And excuse my hair, I just showered. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, we'll see how it goes. I'll show you guys once I get there and how I set up and everything. I've arrived. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. There's a lot of vendors. So many vendors. I'm missing Patricia, and this is me just stretching my legs. Here is what I came up with in terms of just what I wanted it to look like. I had a lot of fun, and guess what? I did not sell anything, but I love the experience regardless. Look at that, I'm glistening. Okay, so this is right after my first vending experience, and let me tell you the pros and cons about it. Let's talk about the first con. So the first con is basically, if you're an anxious person who gets overwhelmed easily with large crowds, this isn't for you. And I'm not gonna lie, I am an introvert and I don't like large crowds. Luckily, this event was outside and I felt like I could breathe. Also, I had Patricia there, so I wasn't alone, and I was able to just talk to her during the lulls and basically be okay and focus on like what was going on and not get so overwhelmed with like everything going on around me. The second con I will say is that when you're setting up, there's going to be a lot of other vendors trying to do the same exact thing when you're first starting, and so it's very chaotic. It's very like competitive as well because everyone's just trying to do the same thing, which is be ready by the time like it opens, the market opens, and so it can be really overwhelming in terms of like, you know, finding a place to park and then offloading everything, because you know you only get literally a piece of concrete and you're like, okay, this is your section, it's here and here, and that's it, and that's all they provide you, and then everything else is just on you. So you got to bring your chairs, you got to bring, you know, your table and like your display, and then obviously your products. So it's a lot of unpacking and then unloading and then packing up and then, you know, putting everything back in your car. So that's something I really didn't take into account until, you know, that day. And then I guess the third con would honestly be time. So you are there for hours on hours, and if it's just by yourself, you kind of don't really have time to just leave. Like if you want to go for a quick bathroom break or anything, I mean, you could ask someone in like the booth next to you, but they're also vending for their own business. So it's a lot of time and commitment to just sit there, you know, patiently as people pass by and like look at you, look at your product. So be ready for that, because it is a commitment. And yes, you do just sit there for hours sometimes and not sell anything like I did. Okay, so let's get positive again. Let's talk about the pros. So the first pro right off the bat was I got to meet with other vendors. It was really cool to see how other people like do business and what they sell and how long they've been selling, and like listening to their stories. It's really inspiring to see basically other business owners do their thing and see if they're thriving or not, you know. And then they let me know what was working, what wasn't, and like basically they told me like the fall season is the busiest season because everybody loves all things cozy. And I was just like, okay, I'll definitely like take that into account, because I know that I like cozy vibes, but obviously for some reason it didn't click that when it's fall and winter, people are starting to look for cozy things, and obviously sales go up because they're also gift giving for the holidays. So like that right off the bat, it was really cool to talk to other business owners and, you know, see what their stories were about. The other cool thing about being in person was that I actually got to see like other products that were like mine, and I basically got to establish a baseline of like the other products that were similar to mine. And what I mean by that, I got to see if like my prices were fair or not, like if I was just undervaluing or overvaluing myself. But it turns out I'm pretty competitive, like I'm pretty up there. I'm a slight bit cheaper, obviously, because I'm not a total professional when it comes to blind dates with a book. I really like how unique mine are, and I think the price is pretty fair. Like other people do like add so much more stuff to their bundles, but I don't know, I really like the way I make mine. So that was something that was really eye-opening, was being able to see in real time like how much people were selling the similar product for. So the last pro of doing this was a great way for me to like dip my toes into the water and seeing if this was like good for me or not, because I realized real quick that you're gonna have to start talking to strangers, and that's something that I haven't done in a really long time. I'm talking like 5 years. That's been since the pandemic, and I feel like we've all really been conditioned to like avoid crowds because of that. Since then, I haven't really talked to strangers. I've only really talked to friends or family. And so this was a great way to see if, you know, I'm still able to do that. And it did take a little bit help with Patricia. Like she did have to like hold my hand and be like, by the way, this is, you know, Pao, and this is what she does. And then I was like, oh right, I have to pitch myself and I have to like educate people like what blind date with a book is, because not everybody understands the whole concept and what it is. And so it was a really great way for me to basically come out of my shell and start talking to people again that isn't through social media. It isn't online. It's in person. And yes, it's a whole different like ball game, but it was great. It was a great experience. So what did I learn? I learned a lot in terms of like being prepared for the unexpected. Patricia did help me out a lot by giving me a phone call the night before and saying like, hey, just little details in case you forgot. You're gonna need cash for change in case somebody does want to buy, you know, a blind date with a book, but they pay in cash instead of card. I'm like, oh my God, that's something so simple that I completely forgot about. So that morning I had to go to the bank and get money out. And it was really chaotic. That was honestly the reason why I was a bit late to set up, but it was overall like a really great learning experience in terms of just being able to talk to people, going out there, seeing like what people are actually like and not how people are online, because it can be very different, let me tell you that right now. It was cool because I was able to find out if this was for me or not. And I really did like this first vending experience, and I'll definitely want to go to the October one that Patricia has asked me to go to with her. And so hopefully then I'll have more products to put out. Obviously, I'm taking you guys for the journey on that, but it was really good. Not overwhelmed. I'm actually kind of excited to see where this goes. But that should be it. That was my first vending experience. I really hope that if you're starting your own business, this inspires you, because if I can do it, if me, a shy introvert, literally an introvert, can do it, I feel like you can do it as well. It just takes a matter of doing it baby step by baby step, but I feel like you guys can definitely, you know, get there. So that's it. That was the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and just thank you so much for the support. Honestly, I really do appreciate every single comment, like, and follower. Like, I get so excited when someone follows me. And yeah, and that's it, you guys. Okay, until the next one, bye.